Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris and welcome to LEGO Mini Reviews, the show where I review a ton of different LEGO vintage and new sets right here on the Duckbricks YouTube channel in a short form format. So I have a ton of Bricklink orders to get through as well as just associated LEGO purchases, and I figured instead of making a mega video where I go through every single one that's hours long, why not break it up into separate mini reviews? And so in addition to our normal 3 videos a week schedule, be sure to stay tuned for a mini review dropping every single day where we do not normally have a standard video releasing. I hope you enjoy, and let's jump right into our first pick. So the only box that I got here was set number 6464. This is a town planning set from 1999. Now I find this really interesting because it shows a full-on city layout with different base plates, as well as the standard, somewhat juniorized vehicles of the time. What you can see here is that you can use the instructions to build all sorts of different vehicles and as well as buildings and kind of place them in a whole diorama. It's a really interesting concept for a set that I just kind of wanted to pick up because I just really haven't seen this type of set around before. And lifting the box here, you can see all sorts of really fun details hidden throughout this. So of course it's encouraging you to do your own layouts with these cities, so you can do it in different layouts like this. Here's all the minifigures included, as well as the different vehicles all set up in their own display. There's a police station, a fire station, a mechanic auto shop, all sorts of different stuff in here. And down here, what's really cool, and it's a shame that this wasn't sealed, but it looks like every single one of the different bits came in its own specialized printed bag. This is really cool to me. I wish that LEGO did more of this in modern sets, but I can understand why not, because most of the time, these bags would just get wasted. So removing the cover here, which kind of just is removable as is, you can see that the bricks are all kind of packed in based on what vehicle they are. I am going to build this very quickly because it does seem like it's pretty juniorized, should be super easy to build, and we're gonna get into things. All right, so here is the final set number 6464. It depicts a full town layout. Now the instruction manuals were interesting because it came with individualized instruction manuals for each and every one of the vehicles, but it also came with a larger instruction manual in total. It's this manual right here, which really was just made to generate ideas. So the way that this manual works is that you actually can just kind of flip through it and see how to build other random vehicles using extra pieces provided with the set. So these pieces obviously do not actually go anywhere, but I mean, easily you could just put them somewhere you want, because like something like the post office, for example, you can just put a post box like there, and there's just all sorts of different stuff you can do. And if you look in the instructions, all these parts are to facilitate different vehicles, and they have instructions on how to actually build all the different vehicles shown in the instructions by rebuilding the existing vehicles. So this actually is an all-in-one pack. You have the actual pre-made vehicles from the set itself and buildings, but you also have an ideas booklet to use with the parts in this specific set. It's something LEGO does fairly rarely in modern times. We still see sets kind of like this once in a while, but they're few and far between. And this really does feel like it's almost like a create your own 4+ junior set, which has a full juniorized town, but also a lot of different options for kids to play. The closest modern analogy is probably going to be something like the Monkey Kid recent set where you can build your own vehicles and whatnot, but really this is kind of something that feels almost ahead of its time. Now also included is a LEGO service pack, and I just say I really appreciate the amount of different vintage parts you can see back here, from an astronaut helmet to a Belleville crown to a competition cannon, and it actually is advertising different pieces that you can buy direct from LEGO at the time. So this is pretty interesting to see here. So setting these aside, let's take a look at what's actually included here. Now this set feels very reminiscent to me of the Lego Island video game, which was the very first Lego video game ever made. The exact city layout looked exactly like this, so that feels very nostalgic to me. Although to be honest, the builds are not the best. They're super simplified to the point of being almost way too simplified. I mean, obviously, as you can see here, most of these are just built off of large pieces. I do like this windscreen piece up here, the window pane piece. I do not think I've encountered this one before, so this is a pretty nice piece. But of course, everything is very juniorized. You have these super large pieces. This piece interested me because while it doesn't look like it's one piece, as you can see, it almost looks like this is a separate piece on top. You can literally see a line. This top part is glued to the bottom part, so this entire archway is one piece, something that really surprised me and something that they actually repeated throughout different occurrences in the set. Even though these are literally existing Lego pieces, it seems like they've been glued on purpose. Like the instruction manual specifically shows it as one solid piece, so kind of interesting to see that. Now, not a ton of different things here. We've got a service bay with a bike being worked on. We have one of the repair trucks going around the city. And then the largest vehicle is this fire truck here. But again, you do have the pieces to, say, build a full-on repair truck or a dump truck or a scooper or whatnot. And you can just use all sorts of different things, even some extra signs and whatnot, just to populate the city with different vehicles. Now, I can imagine that if kids got multiple copies of this set, they could really use it to expand a full-on city layout using this sort of system and just building different sorts of buildings and vehicles either via the instructions or using their own imagination, which is something I really appreciate. Alright, and with that, we have summed up this mini LEGO review. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and do let me know down in the comments below what do you think of this set. Do you like it? Do you dislike it? And if you own it, what have been your experiences with building and playing with the set itself? Also, let me know in the comments if you like this format of mini reviews. I'm trying to put them out on a fairly regular basis, so thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very, very soon.